Live from the Export Beer Garden studio, this is the agenda for Thursday, the 8th of February, 2024.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
Welcome into another edition of the Agenda. My blood pressure is through the fucking roof right now because I've just had to update my password on everything and then try and sign back into my emails.
You just need to calm down a bit.
Not that easy though, is it?
You need to calm down a bit, okay, Manaia? This is a fact of life, okay? You're going to have the two-factor authentication logins for the rest of your life until they chip something in the middle of your forehead. This is life, okay? So you need to breathe.
We're going to get this.
You need to breathe through it.
That's a good idea, actually. Every time I'm really stressed out and someone tells me to calm down, I'm like, oh,
no, breathe
great
through it.
idea.
No, breathe through it. Breathe
Great
through
idea.
it. I'm not saying calm down. I'm saying stay calm. Okay? Stay
That
calm.
does my fucking head in.
Stay calm and breathe through it.
Why can't Steve Jobs figure out the password thing? Why do they put it onto the common folk? I'm all out of passwords. I can't generate another one.
I like tattoo a QR code onto my forehead. I don't care. And if that means they're authenticating it's me doing it, I don't care. Have it.
We'll get into this later. This is in one of the headlines that I wanted to talk about later on in the podcast. But for now, let's get into a bit of cricket because it is day 5 of the test match between South Africa and New Zealand. But there will be no cricket played today because we beat them yesterday, but only just.
Well, only just. That didn't go into day 5.
Yeah, that's
we didn't
right.
only not just beat them.
No.
We humiliated them. But yesterday was just this procession. It was the worst of Test cricket. I mean, I love the fact we won. I love the fact we humped them. Mm-hmm. It's South Africa. For the record books, it's going to be a victory to New Zealand. But it was just such a foregone conclusion. And watching it and commentating it, it was really hard to get excited. But get in behind it.
I think we do a good job of reflecting what the average punter is thinking at home because I feel like a lot of the mainstream commentators, their job, or they consider their job to be to try and sell you on that this game's still entertaining and here's what they have to play for, where we're like, fuck this, let's just beat them, let's be done with it. Yeah, they're playing for nothing.
We leaned into it. I mean, we went down a few primate angles, talking about where the primates can play, would be good at ball sports.
Yes.
And particularly the cricket.
Yeah, I think... obviously I spend a lot of my time thinking about animals and the different ways that they move and behave. And there's something about the way that other primates recruit their muscles where a chimp that's the same size as a human is like 100 times stronger because of the way their body moves. They'll never...
Fast twitch.
Yeah. They'll never be able to, fine motor skills, not great. They'll never be able to play a guitar.
Yeah. Or put together an IKEA bed.
God, could you imagine a chimp couple trying to put together flat pack furniture?
One would kill the other, and then eat its brain, and then just sleep on the mattress. No, they wouldn't put the bed with the plastic still on the mattress as well. Yeah. Anyway,
why do we need a bed head?
We're monkeys.
Yeah.
Why do we need a bed anyway?
So we chatted about that extensively. There was a lot of great chat across the weekend. This is what happens during test matches. They get bizarre, more and more bizarre as the day goes on. Daniel Bedingfield had a bit of a crack yesterday, though.
He did. That was quite good to watch, actually. So Daniel Beddington was his name, but Bedingfield was way better.
David Bedingham.
Bedingham. Yeah, he employed, and I was watching that, and I was like, this looks familiar. What he was doing was he got to about 50 and he thought, okay, I'm going to back away to leg side and I'm going to carve everything short over offside, anything short leg side, I'm going to hook it. And I was like, I've seen this before, and it's exactly what England did, remember, down at the Basin Reserve when they were playing Bazball. It's what Joe Root was doing.
Wagner.
Yeah, it's what against Wagner. It's what Joe Root was doing. It's what they employed, that just backing away because they knew that New Zealand were at this short deliveries, and we kept bowling short balls, by the way.
Yeah.
And he dispatched us. He got to 82 before eventually he got out. He played a false shot, got caught in the boundary by Satner. But I was thinking, why does this look familiar? And it's exactly the same tactic that England did against us.
Yeah.
But they also lost in the Basin as well. So.
No, well, it's not a bad tactic from us for bowling when we have an insurmountable lead.
Oh, we have 500 runs to play with.
In 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what, fuck it. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
Eventually you're going to get out. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
But it's a bit more full noise when we were playing for a win down at the Basin.
Yeah.
And that's why it became one of the most ridiculous test matches of all time. But I loved that from him as well. He was standing, as the ball came to him, he was standing both feet on the crease.
Yeah.
Just completely fully open and just tennis shots.
Yeah. It was good.
Top spin, forehands.
And he did say after the game that that was a tactic. They discussed it and they've talked about
The
doing
batsman?
it. about doing that. So it wasn't just him deciding to have a hoon. I think it was actually...
Yeah.
He's thought about it. I mean, they are a D team. He's a great first-class cricketer, Daniel Bedingfield.
Yeah.
He's got some great first-class stats.
Yeah.
And, he's got a good eye, got 82, good on him. But they still sucked. And we humped them, and so we should have.
Yeah.
I look forward to the teams going to Hamilton.
Yeah.
And us doing exactly the same to them in Hamilton.
Well, there was a video that went up of us celebrating the victory at the end when the last wicket was taken, and there was a comment on there that was saying, "Why are you guys celebrating? This is a D team." Like, we're not celebrating the win. We're celebrating the fact that the game's over because we've just sat through a full day's play of absolutely nothing. And every ball for the last session we thought was going to be the last ball of the game.
And we've only beaten South Africa a handful of times.
We've never won a test series against South Africa.
I know. And I don't care if it's the D team. I mean, I care a little bit in the fact that it's a bit punishing to watch sometimes. But I don't care.
No, because when you look through stats from history, you never see, oh yeah, they won this or they got great stats, but it was against this team.
Yeah,
and
Shane Warne wasn't playing that game.
Yeah, exactly.
McGrath was injured that game. No one says that, do they?
No pictures on a scorecard. There's no explanation that what you've done was against this or that. There's no asterisk beside it because all we can do is beat the team that they send over. Like, we don't have another choice.
That's why we should humiliate them.
Yes.
They should be sent home going, well, that didn't go well, did it?
I don't know if this cricket thing's for me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I also see that with that victory yesterday at the Mount, we are atop the mountain once again of the World Test Championship table. A small asterisk, though.
Yes, we have only played 3 test matches. For reference, Australia have played 10, India 6. If we scroll all the way down, England have played 7. And the reason that we're on top is because it goes off win percentage, because there's not going to be an even amount of tests played against throughout all of these teams. But anyway, the long and short of that is we should stop the count now.
Yep.
We should bin it. I reckon we award the Test Championship. We've actually got the mace just behind you, right there.
Keep it here.
We'll just keep it here, and we'll just start again. Should we start the next World Test Championship now? It also makes me sort of fear for my life a little bit because we know that India were absolutely fuming that we won the inaugural World Test Championship.
It was only it's their own fault. They lost to us.
It is their own fault, and if they didn't want us to win it, they could have beaten us.
Yep.
But they will stop at nothing to win this. So I don't know what's going to happen to us. I'm a little concerned, not just for the cricket team, but for the nation as a whole.
Well, they got nukes, haven't they?
They are a nuclear-armed country. So I don't know.
That would be extreme. That would, I mean, look, we've said some stupid things on this podcast, but, New Zealand being atop the World Test Championship with a month to go before the final, and they deploy their nuclear arsenal on New Zealand purely to knock us out of the World Test Championship. I know they love cricket, but it would be relatively extreme, I imagine.
Yeah, and I guess this is one of those takes where I won't be around to celebrate it if I'm right.
And look, given the feedback of some of the social posts we've done,
oh my God,
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
If some of those kids that are commenting on the social are in charge of the big red button, they would have probably sent it last night.
Even yesterday when we put the podcast, we put like a little tile of the podcast artwork up to let you know that there's a new podcast out. And I put a screenshot of one of the comments in there.
Yeah.
And the comments lit up again.
I love it.
It's incredible.
It's like the biggest pot of the most delicious burley you can throw out in the ocean. And bottom feeders come from everywhere, like from all walks of life. Yeah. There's no judgment. They all come and they feed on the burley. That is like our social posts to Indian cricket fans.
Like a whale carcass at the bottom of the ocean.
Totally, everyone's having a hoon.
Like sticking your feet in one of those fish tanks in Bali.
Oh, I can't deal with that. Yeah? I tried that.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I can't deal with that. I've got a lot of spare skin. I've got a lot of cracks in my foot, and basically my wife put her feet in the one right next to me, and she had like 2 on hers, and I had maybe a couple of thousand. And it's tickly as well. I can't deal with it.
Yeah,
I couldn't deal with it. It's good for a photo, but that was about it.
I want to give it a try. But yeah, so for the meantime, we remain atop the World Test Championship table, and I would say that we're going to stay there until the Australians get here at the very least.
How good would it be for our stats if we win that series? Against Australia out here. That'd be so good because, I mean, this goes for another year, I imagine, this World Test Championship.
Yeah. That was most of the comments was people Googling. They're like, oh, God, now I've got to go and Google when the World Test Championship finishes.
Yeah, we've got another 12 months.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's better than being second to last like England.
Yeah, that's right. It's a weird thing. It's very cricket, the World Test Championship, that there's going to be a disparity in the amount of games that you've played versus the other teams. It's ridiculous that they've come up with this. And like, if you're going to do that, why not then? Shouldn't you have to play each of the teams an even amount of time?
It's very cricket. You're right.
It's very cricket. Yeah. Martin Crowe, Richard Hadlee, Debbie Hockley, they are famous Australian cricketers according to the ICC Hall of Fame website. Last night it was doing the rounds on the news websites.
Yeah.
We went and checked it. Sure enough, Martin Crowe, Richard Hadlee, Debbie Hockley, all listed as Australians. They had the Australian flag. You could filter the ICC Hall of Fame inductees by region, by nation. If you click Australia, they all popped up.
New Zealand wasn't even on the drop-down.
Oh, it wasn't?
As a cricket-playing nation. As a nation that won the inaugural World Test Championship, some would say the pinnacle of the sport, Test match cricket, it's not even listed as a nation on there on the drop-down. It's like, who the fuck is in charge of this?
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? How many World Test Championships do we have to win to be recognised as a Test-playing nation? But
let's fly to Dubai, go to the ICC headquarters there, tax-free, that's why they're there, and crack some skulls.
Yeah.
And also go to Ferrari World, go to the
they got the world fastest.
Yeah, we'll do that as well.
And
then we'll go to the ICC and crack some fucking skulls.
Yeah. Oh, we got to go up the Burj Khalifa.
You'll do that as
well.
well.
Up the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
And
also,
the water slides. You know, the Yas Island.
The Palm.
Jumeirah.
And we'll do that as well.
Yeah.
We go to the Yas Arena and do some hot laps.
Oh, Yas Arena hot laps. But then
we're
going to sort this cricket shit out. But we probably need to book in for a brunch though at some point.
Yes. So Friday brunch.
Yeah, Friday brunch.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
And we're going to beat some feet over there. You will notice, though, if you go to the ICC Hall of Fame website this morning, they have been fixed already. So there was enough backlash that we managed to get it sorted. But very embarrassing for the ICC.
The president of the ICC is a Kiwi, so so he's probably in the head office doing the same. He's probably been to Ferrari and he's come back and he's cracked a couple of skulls downstairs.
After going to a brunch and the Burj Khalifa.
And they probably think he's from Australia. They're like, we voted this guy and he's from Australia. I'm from New Zealand, you fucking asshole.
Isn't that just part of what part of Australia is that? I know exactly what's happened here though, because I've worked in sports media for long enough, as have you, to know exactly how these things go. It's some intern or lower, down the ladder employee who may or may not be that into sports or cricket. And they've been delegated this job. Hey, can you update the website, please? And all they care about is, updating websites. They don't give a shit about cricket. They really don't understand it.
Every South Pacific flag looks the same to them.
Yeah.
Fiji, New Zealand, Australia.
So they don't give a shit. So they've just hired some young expat who's just like, yeah, okay, sweet, I'll update the thing. And they've never watched cricket before. And they're just like, yep, sweet, that'll do.
Good troll, though, if it was an Aussie in there.
Yeah.
Mate, you watch these Kiwis. They are so sensitive. Watch this.
Flip their shit.
Watch this, mate.
They're going to...
Work, though.
Yeah, it did. All right, let's take a quick break for the agenda and we'll be back with a bit of Super Bowl action. All right, Lane, the Super Bowl is on Monday, as is our Super Bowl viewing party.
Yep.
As there will be around the country, and ours is sold out. It's in Auckland. It's at the Sweatshop.
Brew Kitchen. Yeah, thanks to the TAB as well. Air New Zealand Grab a Seat. We've got flights to give away. I'd say it's been New Zealand's biggest. I don't think there's many that are knocking on 300 people in a bar. I'm just hoping that the bar's got enough screens at this stage.
Everyone's got it on their phone at this point, so I feel like there's going to be a bit of that going on. I've talked to a few mates around the place who've got their own Super Bowl parties teed up. One of them has taken the Monday off and also the Tuesday.
Oh, aggressive.
Yeah, which, violates my do your hangovers on the clock.
Well, we've got cricket commentary the next day. The day one of the second test is on Tuesday. So it's a better... do you know what? Test cricket, there's no better way to see out a hangover than Test cricket. Commentating it even better, because all you have to do is go, you can actually sit there in silence for a couple of minutes. No one actually cares. No one cares.
Yeah, you're taking a kip.
Yeah.
But we did have a game day good punt to chuck on. I've taken the liberty of doing that one.
Yes, I saw that. Good, because I got no idea what's going on.
Well, I was begged to almost by Joe Jury when I came in this morning. He's like, G Lane has to be stopped.
Hey, we did...
He's running riot.
We did so well during that test. We made nearly $1,000 in that test. We picked Kyle Jamieson to be the top wicket taker.
450 we got for that.
Daryl Mitchell had a 4 and a 6 in his innings. He did that. And Ration Ravindra to get a 200. We got that. So I'm offended by that. I can understand Super Bowl. I got no idea what's going on. I would have bet on something to do with Taylor Swift.
I think it's the stray shots fired at the Dogs mid-afternoon on
Yeah,
days
that's
where we
true.
don't have commentaries that
That's
I think
true.
is just concerning Joe a little
Okay.
bit. But anyway, I've poured over the markets. I'd like to, if anyone for the TAB is listening to this, would it kill you to open a market on the colour of the Gatorade tipped over the winning coach? Because I know other gambling
Are they?
bookmakers will take money on that.
Orange, surely.
Very easy to rig as well. Well, there was one in, I think it was the NFL recently. It might have been college football where it was a colour that had never been seen before.
Oh, so they've just stuck some food dye in it.
Yeah, so it's like someone's either made a heap of money or they're so sick of people gambling on it that they're like, you know what, fuck it, brown. Good luck with that. But yeah, so in a lot of other bookmakers overseas, you can take a bet on which
Should we open the book?
Yeah.
Don't know how we're going to take bets.
Blue, red, orange, green, I think are your options.
What about white? Like kind of that, kind of not clear,
yeah,
but a whitey, kind of milky.
silvery one? Yeah.
We can take books and you can put the money directly into my account. And then we'll sort it out later.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that one. So I couldn't find that, but I found another juicy little one that I quite like the look of, and that is Christian McCaffrey or Travis Kelce to score the first touchdown of the Super Bowl. And that's paying $3, which I thought was good value for that.
Okay, Travis Kelce obviously plays
The Chiefs.
For the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Who does Christian McCaffrey play for?
He plays for the opponents, the
the
San
49ers?
Francisco 49ers. Travis Kelce is a tight end who, does receive quite a lot of passes. They do run a few plays for him.
Yeah.
And then Christian McCaffrey, he's almost unbackable to score a touchdown for the 49ers. He scored 2 in their last game,
Right.
Which made Joe Jury a bit of money. And so he also carried my fantasy team to the playoffs, to the promised land. So I think that's pretty juicy odds at $3. You're not going to get rich off it, but
No.
triple your money.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty handy. So
Okay.
we're going to chuck a $100 bonus. That's going to pay back $200. I suspect that won't be the last bet we put on the Super Bowl before kickoff.
Correct. I'm going to also, at the next test match, I'm going to try and sprinkle smaller amounts throughout the game because I think chucking hundreds at odds is starting to get a bit dangerous for us. So
Yep.
just keep that. Hey, I've got some info. I do love, it's called The Huddle from Joe Pompliano.
Oh, yes.
I've subscribed to. He, the business of sport or whatever, he brings out some great stats and he's done a deep dive into the halftime of the Super Bowl and halftime entertainment, which everyone, if you don't know Super Bowl like me or care, you know about the halftime.
Yeah.
It's famous. So basically the halftime show goes out, he'll perform in front of 115 million people, Usher. So, and the crazy thing is the NFL won't pay him to do it.
Is that right?
They do not pay him to do it. So basically, it's nothing new. They've convinced the likes of Prince, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Timberlake, Rolling Stones, Lady Gaga, Dr. Dre, and Rihanna to perform at the Super Bowl for free.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Great exposure.
what they do, though, Apple Music does pay the NFL $50 million annually to sponsor the Super Bowl halftime show, and the artists get $15 million budget for the halftime show.
Okay.
So, but that's for everything. That covers accom, flights, production costs,
Green
everything.
M&Ms.
Everything. And most artists stick within the budget. But likes of The Weeknd and Dr. Dre have spent $7 million of their own money.
I heard that about the weekend, yeah.
To make the show even better. And the reason for this is they get 13 minutes of undivided attention at halftime. And when you're charging $7 million for a 30-second commercial, that's good eating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get 13 minutes of, and so obviously they use it for promotion of their own.
Oh, that's a good point. So
Yeah.
if you were going to pay us to buy this 13-minute slot, it would cost you,
Yeah.
an ungodly amount.
Totally. And like, for example,
So let's call it square.
Justin Timberlake, after he did Super Bowl, over a 500% increase in his music sales after Super Bowl 52. And The Weeknd sold 1 million concert tickets within a week after Super Bowl 55.
Yeah.
So it's basically as a marketing campaign. That's why they do it for hardly anything.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, Usher's got an album coming out.
Oh, does he
Yes,
just?
absolutely. It's the 24 hours after Rihanna's Super Bowl performance.
She had a kid.
She had a kid, but she also became the #1 most streamed artist globally.
Yeah.
17 of her songs automatically popped into the top 40 on Spotify.
Far out.
She gained 3 million Instagram followers and 118 million viewers globally tuned in to Rihanna for that.
It would be interesting to put a no-name sort of minnow in there and see what happened to them. Like if you just put Ben Lummis in there and we're just like, right, here you go, guys.
I think they'd get booed off stage. I think.
No, not
I don't. But I mean, it just shows no mention there of the horrific performance a few years ago by. Who were they?
Janet Jackson?
No, the guy we got his shirt off and wanted round.
The Maroon 5.
No mention of Maroon 5 there.
Yeah, I don't think he did himself too many favours.
I don't think they did at all.
But he
But
got the opportunity to become a prince, when he played Purple Rain in the pissing rain at the Super Bowl. Like, that's iconic.
although I think I'd love to see SpongeBob sing "Sweet Victory."
Oh, man, yeah.
It's got to happen one day. Through AI or whatever, or some sort of virtual where everyone gets the goggles. And SpongeBob comes out of the field and sings "Sweet Victory." It's one of the great halftime shows that never happened.
Yeah. Doesn't Nickelodeon have something to do with the broadcast this year?
I think they're doing the broadcast.
I saw a bunch of memes going around saying that he was going to perform at the halftime show.
Of Nickelodeon's performance, of Nickelodeon's coverage.
Yeah.
I've seen all sorts, and I'm unsure whether Nickelodeon are covering it or not, because I'm unsure whether it's a joke. Because I saw that they got Dora the Explorer on the sideline. And they've got all these characters that are doing, and I was like, if they are doing that, that's fucking funny.
Yes, yeah. Well, the ads are already starting to come out this week, and Paramount's one I watched yesterday morning is excellent. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
And it's Tua Tagovailoa trying to throw a harpoon up to the top of this cliff.
Yeah.
And he can't throw it that far, and he's like, if I had a football, I'd be able to throw it that far. He turns around and Hey Arnold's standing behind him. Go and look that ad up. It is absolutely hilarious. They do go hard on the Super Bowl ads, eh? They're good.
That's good. It's her tradition, though, isn't it? It's up there with the actual show itself.
Yeah.
Is the ads.
It's the most American thing of all time.
And I hope that the sweatshop are playing the actual that, because sometimes you don't get the ads if you watch the ESPN coverage. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So looking forward to that. All right, just quickly, the Export Summer Series. It's your chance to win one of 4 Ultra Weekends away. You can text weekend to 3236. Tell us what your Ultra Weekend looks like to be win a weekend away. At the annual ACC Golf Open in Christchurch, the prize includes tickets, accommodation, and flights for you and 2 mates, should you need them.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a hell of a prize. And I haven't played in the ACC Golf Opens yet, but I am very much looking forward to them.
Yeah, text golf to 3236 if you want to book a place. It's 3-ball Ambrose, kicks off at 2 in the Arvo, done by 5 on the beers back in the clubhouse. We've got some sweet Wilson drivers to give away worth about $400 each.
I've seen them.
So your team wins, you each get a new driver. Runner-up gets new putters. The winners get the beige jacket as well. There's refreshments on course. There's all sorts of activities. It's a good 3 hour. It's the last man stands of golf.
Yeah.
Get along. It's $300 to enter, but you get that back in value in terms of food and drink on course, and it is an excuse to take a Friday afternoon off. So text golf to 3236. We've got Wellington, Shandon, Christchurch out at Harewood, and Auckland is out at Windross Farm. So,
brilliant.
Yeah.
And Ambrose is my favourite way to play golf.
It's the only way to play.
That's the only way to play. Actually, played a Ambrose tournament with our partners over the weekend, which could have gone either way. I've always said, I'd love for my missus to play golf with me, but I reckon she's probably only got 3 good holes in her before she...
Okay, I see what you've done there.
drops lip. And I was wrong. She had about 6.
That's disgusting. I can't believe I can't believe you dropped that gag. I can't believe you dropped that gag in the middle of the Agenda podcast, New Zealand's #1 daily sports podcast, and you dropped that only got 3 good holes in it.
No, I just reckon she, I thought she was going to get a bit ho-ha with the whole experience by about 3 holes in, but no.
Shame on you.
And we won the competition.
Shame on you.
All right, let's take a quick ad to preserve our careers, and we'll be back with Yours Please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
We've had a ton of these come in, obviously, over the course of the test match, and we couldn't get to all of them, so we'll get to a couple of them in a minute. But first of all, we had one off the back of us talking the other day about the miniature pigs that you could buy, the micro pigs in Japan, and subsequently, what should our ACC mascot be? And we couldn't really think of anything, but someone sent one in. I think this is Ben. Ben, yours, please.
Hey guys, I reckon the mascot should be in memory of Jason Hoyt, a golden duck wearing a crown, so therefore a royal golden duck.
In memory, is he dead? It's Jason Hoyt.
The Jason Hoyt Memorial Royal Golden Duck. The golden duck was sitting right in front of us.
Yeah,
I feel like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
A golden duck on the emblem of the Steady the Ship hat.
Yeah. That is not bad. That's not bad. That's winning so far.
It is winning so far. That is excellent. And you could do like a limited edition actual gold embroidered Steed of the Ship hat. I mean, obviously we have enough trouble keeping them on the shelves as it is, so I don't want to complicate that any further, but that would look good. The Golden Duck. Yesterday, obviously during the cricket, we were so far ahead, and it prompted one listener to, well, look, I'm just going to let him explain it. Caller, yours, please.
Hey boys, just wanted to put my 2 piece in. I haven't got much from the second innings of this test match, but it has done one thing. Finally being able to answer that to the missus, yes, we are in fact winning.
That
is good. Yeah, that's good.
That's the most classic question in
I
cricket.
hate that question, eh?
Who's winning?
Who's winning? It's like, okay.
Yeah. I know, but I also understand why you'd be like, as if you didn't know anything about cricket or even sports, really. You'd be like, wait, there's a sport where you can not be winning?
And also, I know that the people who ask who's winning are purely doing it just to be polite.
Yes.
They're like, oh, he hasn't talked to me for a while, so I'll try and engage with him around his sport.
Yes.
He's been there all day. And I go, hey, babes. Hey, how's it going? Who's winning?
Yeah.
And you're like, and you've just, without knowing it, you've just laid a massive turd on his chest.
I know. And then the thing is, we inevitably go, oh, no one's actually winning. You can't be winning cricket. And then they're like, oh, well, fuck this fucking sport. You know?
It's a circle of hate.
It is. But I kind of think that my missus raised a good point one day when she was watching the Kardashians or something like that. And I was like, oh, God, why do you watch this? She goes, I watched you last night yell at the Warriors on TV. This is just the same thing. I was like, sports are the Kardashians for blokes. So the next time that I walk in and she's watching bloody Love Island or something, I'm going to be like, who's winning?
I think for those people out there who ask that question, just change it up and say, what's the score?
Yep.
That's all you have to say. It'll completely change the dynamic in your relationship if you just say, what's the score? And I'll go, oh, New Zealand are 120 for 2. Going all right. And I go, oh, good. Okay. You want a beer, love? Oh, fucking love one. Thank you.
Or even just how are we going?
Yeah. How's it going? How are you going? How are you going?
How are you?
How's the team going?
Yeah.
Would you like a beer? I love one. Fuck, I love you. I love you too, babes.
We've got another one that came through yesterday while the test match was going on. Caller, yours, please.
G'day, gents. Just listening with interest to your tapeworm chat. I have found that a less invasive way to work out whether your children have the tapeworm is to wait for them to give you a report of the itchy anus, and then you can just examine the stool itself.
Yeah.
And then administer whatever medication is required.
Yeah.
Much easier way to do it.
That is. Yeah. I mean, look, this is what happens in test matches on day 4 when it's a foregone conclusion. We got into worms, tapeworms, mainly worms that frequent the bowel of small children. And, I mean, Jeremy Wells went into detail about how he would go in with a torch and inspect his kids' anuses and look for them around the anus.
While they're asleep.
Yeah, while they're asleep. Whereas mine, I'm a fan of that one there, where just wait for the stool to come out, look in the stool. Anyway, and I think Lee Hart said it makes great bait as well on burley. No chat. I've talked about a lot of disgusting things in my time, and I know you have as well, Manaia. But yesterday, the tapeworm chat, and then someone got photos up, and I started to feel quite ill.
Oh, I've not recovered.
My stomach started to tighten a little bit, and it takes a lot to kind of make me disgusted or make me kind of feel a bit queasy. But tapeworms and worms that live in your bowel and stomach freaked me out a little bit, and that conversation did start to go a bit sideways.
I've suddenly become very aware of my back passage, and every time I shift around in my seat, I'm like,
is that a worm?
Was that itchy?
Yeah.
Is that itchy? I don't think it is.
The best thing to do, I've got 3 kids, we worm them every 3 months, and we have to worm ourselves as well, because obviously the little shits get the eggs everywhere. Worms have been a big part of my life for about 10 years now.
Yeah, right.
And it still makes me queasy.
Yeah, I think I might preemptively worm myself. I mean, I don't have kids.
No, don't. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it so you...
There's no downside.
No. So next time you get an itchy ass, you go, well, it's not worms.
It can't be worms.
Because I've taken... they're quite expensive. You can get the chocolate from the pharmacy. Yeah. It's not cheap. And also kids have 2 squares, and that's kind of all right. The adults have to have about 8, and you're like going... It looks like chocolate. That's why the kids eat it, because they're stupid. But Adults have it, and you're like, it's not chocolate.
That ain't
It's
chocolate.
not chocolate, and you have to wash it down pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Can worms transfer between animals? Like, could we get dog worms?
No, someone mentioned this. I
Yeah.
remember. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so because,
Because my partner works with rhinoceros.
you don't want a rhino worm. Oh my God.
A giraffe worm?
That'd be something like the Upside Down, like from Stranger Things that would come out your ass.
Oh, it's like a snake.
Again, I got that same feeling.
Yeah, let's get off the tapeworms. All right, the other thing we were talking about yesterday is the first 11 of primates. We got a lot of
Okay.
texts on this and the usefulness of different primates in different fielding positions. Call it yours, please.
Yeah, g'day lads. As far as the primate 11 goes, I think you're going to have the gorilla and his short wicket or under the helmet somewhere.
I agree.
Good body strength, ability to take a ball to the chest or head, plus the arm reach, and be fairly imposing to the batsman.
That's a good point. Imagine having a silverback gorilla. You know how they sit with that straight back, and then they're just silly mid on.
Yeah.
And then every now and then, instead of appealing, it goes just like knocks its chest. As a batsman, you'd be like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
And it removes, like he said, it's got the ability to take a shot to the chest or head. It removes the ability to psych the fielder out by slamming the ball at them. We saw one come off, was it Latham's knee yesterday?
Yeah, he came off. It was
pad.
Luckily, it hit the top, and that's what shot it straight up in the air.
Yeah.
It hit the top of the pad off Glenn Phillips and caught by Blundell.
Yeah.
It was lucky he actually hit his pads because that was humming.
Yeah, but again, wouldn't even phase a silverback gorilla.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
In fact, you don't want to make it angry, so you wouldn't want to hit it at the gorilla.
Yeah, and I sort of proposed that a gorilla or even an orangutan would have arms so long that even if you just were to pad one down back into the pitch, it could probably catch that.
Yeah.
Could get its arm across the pitch from like a legal fielding position.
There's just so much danger involved in playing a primate 11. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's just you don't want to piss any of them off. So you go out there with a different attitude. Like,
No.
I don't want to. The orangutan at Gully, you're like, he's looking at you.
Yeah.
You've got the spider monkey, like
Right in the boundary.
Yeah, right in the boundary. You've got a gorilla under the helmet.
Yeah.
You got an orangutan coming, like left arm round.
Yeah, I think there was like a proboscis monkey at mid-wicket.
Oh, terrifying on all fronts.
Someone agreed with that caller, though. We had another listener on the gorillas. Caller, yours, please.
Further to the gorilla, being under the helmet, up close to batsman, you resemble that 5'2" Tasmanian with the flared pants, David Boone.
Oh,
So I
that's
think
harsh.
it'd be quite appropriate.
That's a bit harsh on Booney. I wouldn't
Yeah.
call him a gorilla.
No, I think that was. I
Maybe
think he
a-
meant it as a term of endearment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just like, the musculature of the man.
He was one of the first cricket players to really own that position, David Boone.
Yeah.
Under the helmet. I'm surprised he didn't crush a few darts while he was in there.
Do you think he just loved the chirping aspect of it more so than the?
I think he didn't have to run anywhere.
Yeah, that's fair.
You just park your ass there and and he would have. The chirping part of it
Yeah.
is one of the greats.
100%. And just one final one on the first 11 of primates. Call yours, please.
To help with your primate 11, perhaps you can add in a couple specific, celebrity primates. Like Mott Joe Young, I feel like, he would do pretty well, as well as Caesar from the Planet of the Apes. Those two guys would probably round out and be in any team.
This is a mashup of two topics, isn't it? We did a South African or South Africant, which is can you talk like a South African or can't you talk like a South African? And I think there's a mashup there. I think as the guys come in with an Afrikaans accent.
I quite like Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
I got a bit of feedback actually because people were asking how do you do a South African accent? I said you got to slow it down and sound as thick as possible. And
Really lay it on.
Yeah, really lay it on. And I got a lot of feedback from South Africans around that because I live on the North Shore.
Yes.
And so,
As do a lot of them.
so I copped a few strays walking down the street the other day.
Yeah, I bet.
From Liam.
Liam?
Liam. Yeah, he's
Shout
fine.
out to Liam.
Yeah,
Hope you're having a lekker time over there, my bro.
He's a lekker bloke though. So
Yeah.
that's all right.
Oh, no, absolutely. And if you or anyone else out there want to leave us a message, you must call us on the telephone. Not now, but just now, by pressing the microphone button
Too
on
fast.
your
Slow
iHeart
down.
app.
Slow down. You got to write down.
got a little bit excited, my bro. But you can leave those messages on the app. Can you still do the South African accent? I don't know.
Of course you can.
I feel like you can.
Of course you can.
South African, Irish?
I think you've got a free hit with South Africa.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
So I'll take that free hit. All right, let's mop up a couple of the headlines of the day. The Privacy Commissioner here in New Zealand has concerns about Foodstuffs North Island's trials that they're rolling out across 25 supermarkets in the North Island today. The supermarket conglomerate hopes that the 6-month trial of facial recognition technology will stop the over 4,000 incidents of shoplifting or violence that they've had in their stores. So basically, they are scanning your face when you walk in the door, and I presume they're then going to keep a record of that so that someone gets alerted when you walk into one of their stores again.
I thought this was happening already.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of the photos that were put on the wall, from security cameras, every dairy, every supermarket has that.
I thought it was already happening already, and I've got no issue with it. I mean, fucking hell.
That's what I was going to ask, but we said it at the top of the podcast. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ship me, scan my face, do the whole shit.
QR code my forehead, I don't care.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm not in there stealing. If it stops the people that are, fine. And if it stops me having a 2-factor authentication every time I log at my fucking emails, then chip me. Chip me right now. So I think we're in agreement on that one.
Oh, yeah.
And one final story for today, Lane. Indonesian independence fighters from the Free Papua movement who stormed a plane on the tarmac last February and kidnapped a pilot from Christchurch. Have you heard of this story?
I skimmed the headline.
Yeah, so this I was aware of it last year when it happened, but I don't think we're talking enough about it. He was a commercial pilot from Christchurch who's over in Indonesia, and he was flying just, I don't know, I guess some cargo or something. And these guys who want their part of Indonesia to be recognised as an independent state stormed the runway, took him hostage. I don't think they understand enough about where Christchurch is and the value of the prisoner that they've taken to cause an international stir.
Who did they think they were kidnapping?
I don't know.
You take the pilot and maybe if he was from the Indonesian government or where they're trying to get independence from.
I just think they saw a white guy and were like, here we go, high value target.
Here's some leverage.
Yeah. So I mean, they've been holding him for a year.
A year,
yeah. So the reason it's hit the headlines again is because they are in talks now to begin the process of releasing him. I think they've cottoned on, this guy's not going to get our independence. One individual guy. Harrowing experience for him, but they allowed him to send out a message to his family. And in the message, he talked about how, shortly when we get Wi-Fi back, I'll give you a ring. So he's obviously been able to ring them before. But he also put a plea out and he asked for 2 separate things. The first was a couple of asthma inhalers.
Yeah, that'd be handy if you've got asthma.
Fair enough. And a Kindle. That was the other thing.
Not bad. That's not bad options, though.
Not bad options.
But has he got Wi-Fi? Did you say?
No, because...
Well, what's the point of the Kindle then? He's going to burn through them unless someone downloads them here.
That's what he said.
Okay.
He said as many English books as you can fit on there.
Right.
Because he must be bored out of his mind because they're keeping him out in the jungle somewhere.
At least hopefully he learns a language.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be quite good if he came back speaking pure...
You'd probably never want to speak it again, West Papuan or whatever.
Yeah, I know, but, skill's a skill.
Yeah, skill
language is a language.
Skill is a skill.
You could abuse someone in New Papua or...
West Papuan?
Yeah.
But my question to you would be, what if you were being held captive for a year, what things would you ask for if you were able to send out a
Have you got Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Okay, an iPad.
Yeah. Well, for stay in contact with your family, obviously.
Oh, yeah. That too. But yeah, if you're a year on your own, you're gonna do some terrible things to yourself, and you're gonna go to some terrible places.
You probably wouldn't be in the mood for the first sort of 3 or 4 hours. But then after that,
I suppose it depends where you're getting kept captive. If you're in the kitchen or something, chained to the sink. I don't know. That'd be pretty bad. But if you had a room, where you could go to the bank.
Yeah.
Then iPad for me.
iPad.
And a charger.
Oh yeah, and a charger.
That'd be disappointed. Imagine they sent you an iPad and then send you a charger.
Yeah.
You'd be like, fuck.
I'd be like, you know what, guys? If you intend to hold me here for how long do you reckon? Another year? Can I get a PlayStation and a TV?
Oh, yeah.
And you will not hear from me again. I won't kick up a stink. I'm sweet.
Oh, that's true. Maybe I should get Sky and TV. Although I could log into my Sky Sport now on my laptop, on my iPad.
Yeah, and your TAB account.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Imagine that, and you come out and you're a millionaire.
You're just punting away.
Yeah.
You're just betting on terrible stuff the whole time, watching blue content, watching sport and gambling. I mean,
you'd probably...
How do I get over there? How do I get kidnapped?
All right, we'd like to offer a prisoner swap.
I want Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, you can take it all with you over there. Yeah. All right, we'll arrange that.
Starlink.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, Elon Musk's internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we'll start working on that prisoner swap, and we'll be back tomorrow for a Friday edition of the Agenda Podcast. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.